Welcome back to today's Family Connection Point. Today I have my youngest son, Boaz, with me.
Hi there.
And we are going to cover Matthew chapter 22, verses 34 through 46. And to get going, we're going to ask Boaz some questions from the interactive quiet time. And so the first question is this. What is the most important rule that Mom and Dad have ever given you?
To not tell a lie.
To not tell a lie. It's a good rule. How about for our country? What's the most important rule that our country has ever given you?
To stay home during the coronavirus.
To stay home during the coronavirus. That is a rule that I hope everyone's following. And then here's a fun one. If you were to make up a rule and everyone in the world had to follow it, Boaz, what would that rule be for you?
For all the parents to give all the children all the candy and the electronics they wanted.
He said all the parents to give all the children all the candy and electronics that they wanted. I'm glad we don't live in Boaz's world, but that is actually the question that's asked of Jesus. The question is, what is the greatest commandment? What is the greatest commandment? And they bring in a legal expert to ask Jesus this question. And Jesus' answer in verse 37 is that you should love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment. And then the second is like it. It's to love your neighbor as yourself. You see, Jesus says this, Boaz. Jesus says that all of the laws can be wrapped up in saying you should love God and you should love people. So all of the rules. In fact, 1 John says it this way. It says that if you love God, you will obey his commandments. Because if you truly love God, you want to do what he says to do. And God loves people. God has created people and he loves them very, very much. And he wants us to love them as well. In fact, Boaz, get this. Jesus' disciples, how many disciples were there?
12.
Yeah, there's 12 disciples. Guess what Jesus said? When you look out and people look at you, they're going to know that you're my disciple by what? What do you think?
That you believe in God and you preach about him.
Well, those are good answers, but Jesus actually said, they're going to know that you're my disciples by your love for one another. You are going to show love to each other in such a compelling way that people are going to say, you must belong to Jesus. You must be one of Jesus' followers. And God tells us that we should love him so much that we want to obey his commandments, but also that we will love others in a substantial way. So here's the question for you, Boaz, today. All right? How can you show love to your brother and sisters?
To ignore them when they get me angry.
To ignore them when they get you angry? How about sharing? Would that be a good idea? How about when they want to watch something on TV and it's different than you? What could you do to show love?
Agree with it.
Agree with it? Yeah. Prefer what they want. You see, God says that when we love him, we'll love other people as well. And that is our lesson today. Jesus says the greatest commandment is to love God 100%. And when you love him, you will obey his commandments. And an outflow of that will be that you'll love other people as well. So thank you for joining us today. Say goodbye, Boaz.
Bye.